This project is going to combine you taking pictures, so photography, as well as some editing of that, which we are going to do in a program called Pixlr. We're doing all of this in our Chromebook except for the actual taking of your pictures. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take some pictures, and you're going to take about, I would say 6 or 7 pictures that are things that you would consider important to you or describe you or things like that. So if you take the pictures with our school cameras that we have, you will plug your little memory card into your Chromebook, which is what I have just done. And you are going to hit back up here and find the pictures, and they should back up to your drive. So what's going to happen is in your drive, I'm doing this for the first time, as you can tell. Well, on the Chromebook at least. Not the first time I've done the project, just the first time I've done it on a Chromebook. So what happened was when I hit backup, it created a folder in my drive called Chrome OS Cloud Backup, and it has all of my images in there. For some reason, one of them wasn't showing up right away, so I just went and made sure that I got it all. So I've got 6 images here. Now we are going to play with these and collage them to make a different image. One thing you can do after this is actually this little guy right here, eject this SD card, and then you want to make sure that all of your images are deleted if you're using our cameras, so that nobody else can steal your images. If you do not want to use the school cameras and you would prefer to use something like your phone or a camera you have at home, that's fine. But you need to be able to email yourself the picture and get them in your drive. So as long as you can do that, you can take your pictures however you would like. So once we have our pictures on our drive, then we are going to go to pixlr.com. All right, what you're going to see here is something that gets a little bit confusing. Don't sign in anywhere on this front page. There's somewhere on here that students tend to find that is a sign in. And I don't want you to sign in anywhere on this page. Sometimes it shows up here. So we're going to go here to Pixlr Editor and hit Launch Web App. And before we do anything else, we're going to close this. If you have never used Pixlr before, you are going to click this button up here in the top right. This over here is just ad space, so let's just pretend it's not there. So we're going to hit Sign Up. Here you are going to put in your information, your school email address, and you are going to create a password. I recommend you make your password the same as your school email address password. That way, when you say, I can't remember my password, I'll say, oh, it's the same as your other one. Now, I've already signed up, so I'm just going to go to the login button. So up here, we've got login and sign up. So first sign up, and then it'll have you logged in automatically. But any day you go after that, you'll go to login once you've already signed up. Once you're logged in, open image from computer, or if you go here to file and open image, it should show up. So I'm going to start with the one I'm going to use as my background. So one of your images you need to have as a background image. So it's not something that you're going to cut out and put on the background. It is the actual background image. So we have that. That's this one. Now I'm going to take each of my other images and cut it out and put on top of my background images, and then we can start editing and playing around with it. But first I'm going to try to get them all on here as separate images. All right, so we're starting with the guitar. So this is our lasso tool, and it works pretty well. I like to feather this so you don't have a harsh edge. So what we're going to do with the lasso tool is just go around. You don't have to get it exactly. And I accidentally just let go, but see how I'm holding down shift, there's a little plus next to it now. So I can go around. And if we don't get this exact, that's why we feathered it. It's easier to do this in small pieces instead of trying to do the whole thing all at once. This is also easier if you have a mouse. I know some of you have a mouse for your Chromebook. That makes this a lot easier. The same way I had the plus, if I hold down Control, it gives me a minus sign, so I can, even though I wanted to plus that, I don't know why I just did that. So that just took that out, but I wanted to add that, so it's okay. So I'm adding that in. So we're just selecting a little bit at a time until we get the entire guitar selected. And when you get to like here, you can just let go and it'll fill in where it'll take this spot to the spot that you just were at. So I can go here all the way down here and around, and it's gonna connect this spot where I start to the spot that I started. All right, so now I have the guitar selected. I'm gonna go up here to edit and copy. And then I'm gonna go over here click on our other image that is our background and hit edit, paste. And see the feather, it did this thing where it kind of softens up the edges. Now we can go in and select this a little bit more and like get rid of some stuff if we want. So if I wanted to get rid of some of this edge, I can select it and hit backspace and it's gonna delete that little bit. But before I go in and start taking care of the details here, notice right here, layers. Now I have a background layer and I have a guitar layer. This is where we want to actually go ahead and save this image. We want to make sure we save it right here. You want to change the format to PXD. That will save your layers. If you do not do this, it's going to save it all in one layer, and then we won't be able to edit our guitar separate from our other layers. We're also going to change this to pixlr library right here. That'll save it online so that you can have it anywhere that you want. So once I have it PXD in a pixlr library, then I'll hit OK and hope that it does not crash on me. I don't know why Make sure you're always working on the layer, so the one you want to work on is selected. You can erase it without dealing with anything. It doesn't affect anything on the other layer. If you go too far, undo. Anyway, we're gonna mess with getting off the rest of that background layer later. We're gonna get all of our other pictures in layers first. We're going to copy again and go over here and paste. So now I have guitar and shoes. So see how it gives me layer 2 now? So I have layer 1, layer 2. So if any of your pictures you can take with a solid background like this one, then that's beneficial because then you can use this magic wand and it will be a lot easier. What it does is it will select all of the pixels the same color. So this should select my entire background and not the Crayolas. But what is selected here is the background. So if I copy this, then I'm getting a white background. What we have to do is go over here to edit and go to invert selection. Now everything that was not the white background is selected. And I'm going to say edit, copy that. And then come over here and paste it on here. All right, now we have everything in layers on our image. One thing I'm going to do, my images are really large, so I'm going to Now we can work with our separate images, our separate layers, however, and play with them however we want. A bit of a shadow here that I don't really care for. So anything I do on this layer, it's only going to happen on this layer. You can do different things. You can rotate just this layer. So if I just want this layer rotated, I can do that. Now I can move this anywhere on the image. It's got a corner, so I'm going to put it down there. I also want to I go to free transform. This is going to, I can adjust my size. If I hold down shift, it keeps your proportions the same, which is always good. So if I want this to be down here in the corner at this size, this is how I'm going to do that. Do you want to apply? Yes. So then I'm going to click on my next layer. So this one, I'm going to try to do some little, so you can play with any of these things that you want. I'm erasing a little bit of the background again. This one I'm going to do some filters on. I'm going to try a few different ones. There's some interesting ones. You do it, sometimes it doesn't look good. So what that did is I'm on the dog layer now. If I go to adjustments, hue, saturation, if you want something to be black and white, you take saturation all the way down to the left. If you don't want to see a layer, but you don't want it to go away, if you uncheck it, see how that just makes the dog go away just so I can see what's behind her. So now I can work with the shoe layer without anything else being in the way. If you zoom in on this stuff, it's easier to see what you're dealing with. Once you have everything done, and you can just keep playing with all these, I just kind of put them together fairly quickly. You can, adjust and play with them until your heart desire. When you go to save the final time, instead of saving on your pixlr library and saving, you want to save as a pxd in your pixlr library before you do this. So go ahead and do that. And then after you've saved like this, then you're going to save to my computer as a JPEG. That'll flatten the image. That's where there aren't layers anymore. And then you are going to send that to me. And hopefully this doesn't crash before I do that. So this is saved so that I can still work on it. But once you're done working on it, that's when you're going to save it. My computer as JPEG. Change this here to your name. And it'll save on your drive.